Dr. Sebastian. He is an assistant professor, Department of Philosophy, St. Stephen's College, University of Delhi. Prior to joining St. Stephen's College, Dr. Sebastian worked with IGNO, National Institute of Public Finance and Policy, and Delhi Technological University. Dr. Binz received his MPhil and PhD degrees in philosophy from the Jawaharlal Nehru University, New Delhi. He holds master's degree in philosophy, political science, and business administration. Currently, he teaches bioethics and applied ethics at the philosophy department at St. Stephen's College. We welcome you, sir.
I'm not a lawyer, I'm a teacher of philosophy. And in applied ethics, issues like life and death, especially suicide, abortion, euthanasia, these are topics that we regularly discuss. Okay. We discuss about the concepts of autonomy, dignity, bodily integrity, privacy, property, all these. So I'll be speaking something in line of what Advocate Nima spoke about the dead body's claim to a right. Does a dead body have any right? It's a more fundamental question. We should be very clear that there is a problem. There is a problem because we violate the dignity and integrity of a person after his death. So how do we establish that a dead body has a right to decency, a right to dignity? The Supreme Court has spoke and it said the right to life and right to dignity of life that can be extended even to the dead bodies. But what if a constitution does not recognize that right? If a state does not recognize that right of a dead person, what happens? Do we stop respecting the dead bodies? Do we do anything that we can do with the dead bodies? Or, more than a legal right, is it a natural moral right? Can we establish that? When we say dead bodies do not have any right because it cannot claim it. If you do anything to the body, it is not going to respond. It cannot claim its right. So can we say, since it has the incapacity to claim a right, it does not have a right? The ability to claim a right, is it the basis for a right? It is not. If we insist on that, then the infants will not have any right. The mentally sick, they will not have any right. The terminally ill people, especially in the coma state, they will not have any right. And we will not be in a position to talk about any right that belonging to the dead bodies. So the ability to claim a right is not the basis for any right. Then what else? We say, especially human rights, when it comes to human rights, even if it is not recognized by law or the state, it exists as moral or natural rights. On what basis? How does a human being, by the very nature of being a human being, enjoy certain rights? We say dignity. Dignity is the basis for human rights. You need to respect the dignity of every individual human person, no matter how rich, how poor, how educated, how illiterate the person is. Now going a step further, how do we claim that human persons have dignity? How do we claim that? We can say this person doesn't deserve any dignity, but that is not right. So on what ground do we say that human beings have certain right, certain dignity? The first answer would be a religious answer. Man is created in the image of God, or there is a God particularly in the human beings, or man is God himself. Maybe a good solution, but it has certain problems. What happens to a dead body when the soul departs? We believe, at least the religious people believe, that the soul departs and it becomes a human or a dead body. So, since the God particle has departed, it doesn't deserve any dignity. It doesn't deserve to be respected. It has become any other matter that would be eaten up by the worms or by the flame. It would become soil in a few days' time. Or how do we tackle the problem of non-believers who do not believe in God, who do not believe that human beings are created by God or in the image of God? So can they go around doing anything to dead bodies, not to dead bodies, even to living human persons? So from a secular perspective, we can come to another point where we can claim human beings have dignity because they have self-consciousness, they have autonomy, they have rationality. So they are different from other animal species and therefore they enjoy certain privileged rights. So are we talking about speciesism here, that you be a part of human species and then you enjoy certain rights? No matter, we all have the capacity to rationality, self-consciousness and autonomy. But in that case, what happens to people who have less rationality, let's say irrational? Who decides who is rational and who is not rational? Or people who lack self-consciousness? People who lack autonomy? Do they have no rights? So even there, it doesn't stand. We cannot say you are part of the human species and therefore you are entitled to some kind of dignity. What else? On what ground do we claim now that human beings enjoy certain rights and dignity? One perspective could be our will to flourish and our will to well-being. Every human person, no matter in what situation he is, how poor or how rich he is, how educated or how illiterate he is, he has a desire, a will to flourish, and certain conditions, circumstances are mandatory for that. We may also say every living organism has this will or this interest. Even animals, plants, everyone will have. But certain gradation is possible. That is how the ethicists argue for animal rights and environmental rights. So, if I have certain interest for flourishing and well-being, I'm governed by my interest. Maybe to take an example, we all know organ donation is a very good thing. When we die, we donate our organs, and then some people benefit out of it. A person who was never able to see can see now. It is a beautiful thing to happen. But we don't do it. Why? We know it's going to be eaten up by the worms or the fire. Still, we do not donate our organs. We want our bodies to be perfect. We want our bodies not to be violated. So we have certain rights or certain interest over our dead bodies. We have certain interest over our bodies when we are dead. Just like I have certain interest over the properties that I have amassed in my life. I decide when I am alive who should enjoy, who should inherit that property. In similar manner, I also decide what should happen to my dead body when I am dead. I will decide it can be given away as cadaver to the medical students. I decide the organs can be donated. I decide the body can be buried, the body can be burnt. So we decide as to what should happen to our properties and our bodies when we are dead. So this interest we should respect. This can also be understood from a social contract perspective. I have respected the dignity and rights of a dead person today. So today you respect my rights when I am dead, and tomorrow someone else will respect your rights. But there is a problem. What about a person who is not part of this contract? A person who doesn't care about the body when he is dead? Can he go around and do anything to a dead body? Because he doesn't deserve or he doesn't expect any respect when he is dead. We cannot argue on that. Another perspective where we can solve this problem probably is to understand the rights of dead bodies not from a privacy perspective but from a property perspective. We don't see dead bodies thrown around on the streets not owned by anyone. Dead bodies are owned by someone else. The state doesn't own dead bodies. If that were the case, then it would have no difficulty to harvest organs from dead bodies and give to people who lack them. There would be no blind person in this society, but the state cannot do that. So dead bodies are properties owned by some other individuals, inheritors, legal heirs. Remember, it's not a proper property that can be sold or rented out. It is owned by someone for the sake of disposing it off with dignity. Can be understood as a quasi-property. So far as it is a body, it's a property owned by someone in a very special way, in a very emotional way, we have a responsibility to respect that. So from both the perspectives, from privacy perspective, because I have certain interest over my body when it is dead, and also from the property perspective, because it belongs to someone in a very special way, we need to respect the dignity and rights of the dead bodies. And I'm talking about moral and natural rights. Now, this has been recognized by the Constitution and the state. It becomes a legal right. Now you have a legal responsibility to respect the dignity and integrity of the human person when he is dead. Thank you.